What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here, and recently it's been basically every day that over on the platform formerly known as Twitter, which I guess you call X now, has been having some weird little issues going on with it, right? From weird little things Elon has said, to changes he's done out of the blue, to things no one even knew was going to happen until they just clicked on it one day and saw it happen. There's so many things over on the magical land of Twitter that keep changing. However, Elon has probably made his dumbest decision yet ever since purchasing Twitter, and that has been to announce basically that he's going to be removing the block feature from the application. Now, for people who don't know, basically every single platform you're actually on, right? Every platform has a block feature. Like, if we look into Rocket, right, I don't even know if this has a block feature, but I wouldn't be surprised if you were able to block your friends in this game. In Fortnite, you can block people. In Roblox, you can block people. On MySpace, you can block people. On YouTube, in the comment section, you can block people. Blocking is a formal, action that exists on basically every single platform, every single application out there, and it's one of those features that is understandably a feature that should stay in existence because, it's standardized amongst everything, right? If your platform doesn't have a block feature, it's either a app that isn't released yet, something in very, very early development that's going to be getting it later down the line, or it's something where no one's using it, right? And I don't even mean that in a rude way, right? I'm not saying this as in, Elon, you got rid of the block feature, how dare you, I'm going to go cry or anything like that. But I do think that it's interesting to see how Elon decided out of the blue to just be like, hey guys, yeah, I think the block feature kind of cringe. We're going to remove it, okay? We're not going to make it a feature anymore. And I'm like, what do you mean you're not going to make it a feature? You're removing something that is essential to every platform and trying to be like, yeah, it's just a more powerful mute. Just mute people. Like, at that point, you might as well just remove the mute feature and rename a block to a mute if that's what you're really trying to do. Because it's like, if you don't want both of them, which I think both are perfectly fine how they are, then just keep the more important one, because it's not even just like a whole entire, oh, you got in drama or whatever, you want to block someone you don't like, whatever else, right? It is more of a situation where there's tons of people out there who have actual stalkers who will go and find their social media platforms absolutely everywhere and try to, interact with them there. And I think this whole entire, removal of the block feature proposal that kind of came out of a random Elon Musk Twitter tweet is a very, very bad decision by Elon if he actually does end up going through with it. Now, in the past, Elon has stated that he was going to actually be removing the Twitter Circles feature from the application, and all he ever really did was remove the sidebar Circles button. He kept the main Twitter Circles feature, or the, actual developers and stuff did, and you're still able to tweet to your circles and everything else, but he mentioned that it was going to be deprecated, which typically means that they're not going to update it anymore. So seeing as that feature still got updated even after Elon was like, yeah, we're not going to do that, I highly doubt that we're actually going to see a day where the whole entire, block system gets removed from Twitter, because it's just stupid to do that. That'd be the dumbest decision Elon could have made so far, other than ever deciding to purchase Twitter, because ever since Elon's purchased Twitter, it's just been bad news, right? And I went over to the Glassdoor review page for Twitter the other day just to see what was kind of, popping up, showing up there, and every review basically from, a verified person who worked at Twitter was basically, Twitter was good, and then Elon showed up. Or, 1.0 was good, and then Elon made it 2.0. 2.0 is bad, people are, blah, blah, blah. It was like every review basically was just Elon sucks, but original Twitter before Elon was pretty good, right? That was every review, and I find it crazy that that's how it's going, right? And it's like, there are people who are still employees and stuff at Twitter leaving those reviews and everything, being like, hey, yeah, Elon Twitter sucks. It's like, I don't have any other job though, so this is where I'm going to be, and it's just a very interesting time over on the internet. Now, there have been some people over on, the whole Twitter, community notes system and everything, leaving notes on the platform stating that, oh, hey, according to both the Google Play Terms of Service and Apple's Terms of Service, if you're a social media platform like Twitter, aka X is, you are forced, regardless if you like it or not, to have the block feature implemented. So whether Elon tries, decide deciding to be like, oh, the mute feature is the block feature you guys want, or he gets forced against his own will to actually make it so that, you know, Twitter is forced to continue having the block feature. That waits to be seen. But I do think that the fact that the person currently running the Twitter platform is someone who's like, yeah, you know what, I don't really care that much about the whole entire features we got going on here. You know, I understand that you guys like the blocks and stuff, but I think it's cringe. You know, like, half the application has me blocked, so I think we're just going to completely remove that feature. You know, it's like, if you don't want to see it, you can just mute them or whatever else. And it's like, even at that, the mute feature sucks on Twitter, because, like, I've muted people before, right? And I will admit that it appears like it's gotten slightly better recently, but in the past, I will mute people on Twitter, and I will still see their replies. They can reply to one of my tweets or something, and they will still pop up. I will be able to see their name and everything else. So it's like, the mute feature is, you know, such a weak system to where if you were to remove anything, remove muting and replace it with the block feature at that point, right? But of course, this has just been my little ramble about what's going on with Twitter. I think it's wild to see that Elon Musk is the harbinger of bad ideas recently, where he's just like, you know what can I, he probably pulls up like ChatGPT, like an AI bot or something, right? And types in, what are some random changes to Twitter I could make as the CEO, even if they might not be good? You know, just any change, funny, bad, it doesn't matter, just give me all of them. And then he puts them all into like one of those like wheel spinning websites, and he's like, removing blocking. That is today's new feature that we're going to be announcing through a random Twitter tweet. And that's another thing I've actually noticed by those Glassdoor reviews, is a lot of the people who are still working for Twitter have mentioned that a lot of the time, you know, how Elon works with his whole entire changes and everything else is he will just randomly be like, hey, yeah, I want this change, I need it within the next week, and then, you know, you'll get mad if you don't do it in that time frame, when you basically have to go from not even knowing that that change was something that could have been implemented to a change that you now have to fully implement within a week and make sure it works with all the other platforms and cogs that are running in Twitter's system. So I think it's just, you know, an interesting time to be on Twitter, and I think it's a good thing that I'm trying to expand my platform elsewhere, you know, to like Instagram and everything else, to hopefully continue growing and everything, while having, you know, my main platform, the main place where I have a following, being constantly sabotaged by someone who thinks they know what they're actually doing to the platform. Now, with all of that said, do I think Twitter is going to actually remove the block feature? Like I've already said, I highly doubt it will go through, but it is still something where right now, everyone is talking about it, right? And if it does go through, there's absolutely no way I'm reading Twitter, okay? Like, if we really think about it, if they decide this is a change that is for their platform and they actually push as a change, I would rather keep my whole entire microphone, you know, my voice chat and everything unmuted in Valorant competitive and a normal Call of Duty lobby than I would going on Twitter.com, because those lobbies at least are nice with how they are mean to you, right? But then you go to Twitter and it's like people just think that they are anonymous to the point where they can say absolutely anything when you have a lot more connected to you than you do in a Call of Duty lobby or like a Valorant competitive match, right? Because I will go in a Valorant like competitive match, hear someone say the more insults and slurs and everything else than I've ever heard in my life, including ones I never even knew existed, and somehow Twitter is still worse than that. So it's going to be an interesting time if Elon removes the block feature, and I would like to see what he would even do if that got removed, right? Like, are you going to make it so it's like everyone you had blocked is just instantly unblocked? Do they get instantly muted? Is there something going on there, like between the lines or something? How are you going to handle the legacy version of the system where all these people are blocked? What are you going to do? Just make it so no one can actually, you know, like, use the block feature at all, but if you had someone blocked, they're just permanently stuck there in your block void? Even if you make amends with them later down the line, are they still somewhere where it's like, oh yeah, you can't, you know, modify this at all? It's in read-only mode, so, you know, you're just stuck having that person blocked for all of eternity until either one of you make a brand new Twitter account? What's going on, right? You know, it's like, how are you going to handle all of this? There's just too many questions I have, and no answers at all. So whatever happens ends up happening, but regardless of all of that, I'm going to continue trying to live and exist in my own little bubble, because let me tell you, some people on Twitter are just too chaotic, and maybe if they end up removing the block feature, I will end up going to MySpace or Blue Sky or Threads or Discord or Xbox Live Messages or something, where I still have the option to block people who I just don't want to interact with. Anyways, with that said, my name is FireMonkey. Hope you Champs and Gemheads enjoyed today's YouTube video. If you did, consider subscribing and support the content I create, and make sure to check out Naraka Blade Point. You know, it's a game I've been playing. You've definitely seen it a lot on the channel recently, but we're still trying to make sure we're doing a variety of content here instead of just this game. But, you know, it's a fun game overall. Recently went free to play, and I'll catch you guys next time with another upload. Peace out.